Minister, we know that the energy crisis has plunged households into real hardship and real uncertainty, and many people are worried about how they'll make ends meet this winter. The energy crisis has been with us for some time now, with spikes in prices and bills last year. So I wish to ask you this morning, Minister, your current position on the levying of taxes on windfall taxes enjoyed by energy companies on the back of this crisis, the position that you've adopted in government, but also the Eurogroup and ECOFIN since October 2021, and if that position has changed during that time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deputy. Corla. The war in Ukraine and Russia's reduction of gas supplies to Europe has led to volatility in energy markets and an increase in wholesale gas prices. This added to existing supply constraints in electricity markets across Europe, which in turn has led to an unprecedented increase in retail electricity and gas prices for consumers, for households, for businesses here in Ireland and across Europe. I am very cognizant of the difficulties that this is causing to so many, and it is clear that the increase in energy prices is leading to windfall gains for some energy companies across Europe, particularly those involved in the production of fossil fuels and those producing energy using technologies that are not dependent on gas. My officials have been working with the Department of Energy, Climate and Communications in an attempt to quantify such gains and to explore the potential of collecting a portion of these gains to provide support to energy consumers during these very difficult times. Work in this regard is now focusing on a proposed European Commission regulation, which is under rapid negotiation. Gains to electricity producers are driven by the market structure, which determines the marginal price paid for each unit of electricity sold. For this reason, the EU regulation proposes to include an infra-marginal price cap in the electricity market designed to limit windfall revenues for producers that are not experiencing input cost inflation. The proposal will be negotiated through the remainder of this month with a view to being approved at an Energy Ministers meeting on the 30th of September. I fully support the objectives of this proposal. The Deputy has referenced discussions at Eurogroup, and the Eurogroup discussed this matter in October, and in particular in the statement that I issued after that, I recognise that super levels of profitability should not be experienced by some, while so many are suffering the economic consequences of a war.
Thank you, Minister. Look, we know that energy companies and energy generators have been enjoying massive and unjustifiable profits as a result of the spike in gas prices, which has been brought on by the illegal invasion of Ukraine, or it has contributed significantly towards those. And this is a result also of a broken wholesale market, a broken wholesale energy market that's inflating electricity prices and household bills. By paying electricity generators the cost of the final generator needed to balance demand, typically gas in this instance, lower cost electricity generators are enjoying windfall revenues, and it's increasing the cost for suppliers and prices for households and business. Now, my colleagues have been raising this with your government since November of 2021. We know that Minister Ryan issued a joint statement opposing any changes to the operation of the wholesale electricity market back at that time, and I'm aware that you yourself have voiced on numerous occasions opposition to a tax being levied on electricity generators enjoying windfall profits over the past several months. So, Minister, have you changed your position on a windfall tax and the position you outlined to the media and the Budgetary Oversight Committee? Thank you.
What I have done on many occasions is outline the issues that an additional taxation measure on the energy sector here in Ireland would have to deal with. I have made clear that the additional revenue that such a measure could gain would be needed, but I've also outlined a number of other things that we have to balance that off against. The impact that it would have on jobs, the impact that it would have in future investment here in Ireland, and the impact that it would have or could have on the supply and functioning of our energy markets that really matter to the economic growth of our country. And what the European Union have now done is in bringing forward a proposal that would operate either at EU-wide level or within a number of countries within the EU is aimed to balance off all of those different issues. It's a complex issue. It does not lend itself to an easy or simple solution. But if an EU-wide measure is there that we believe can work, I believe Ireland should be part of it.
So, Minister, just for clarity, are you going to bring forward, or do you now believe in the idea of windfall tax on electricity generators, particularly those in the renewable sectors? Because on the 4th of May, you told the Budgetary Oversight Committee, you said another option is higher taxes on the supplier of renewable energy. Renewable energy is the way out of this over time, and I would argue that taxing those who are at the very heart of trying to provide new sources of energy supply is the wrong direction to go. Wrong direction to go. Are you now saying that is the right direction to go, or are you saying no, it's still the wrong direction to go? Because I'm confused now. You were opposed to it. You told News Talk that it would undermine investment in the sector if we had a windfall tax on these companies. Now, because Europe are saying they are, as von der Leyen made very clear, these are generating profits that they never seemed imaginable. So now they are bringing forward windfall tax. So is this something now you support? And can you explain why you have changed your position? Can you also tell us, in relation to when Bruno Le Maire brought forward a proposal to the Eurogroup and ECOFIN in October 2021 to decouple gas and electricity, the wholesale market, what position do you personally adopt at that meeting? Thank you.
So the Eurogroup does not deal with proposals in relation to the functioning of the energy market. That sits with the ministers who deal with energy, which Minister Ryan represents. Our perspective on those kind of proposals is we wanted to ensure that it didn't create any unknown or any new difficulties on top of what we already have. The Commission, the Deputy made reference to what I said, I think, on the 4th of May in relation to the issue. Of course, what has changed since the 4th of May is the prices that are now being experienced in wholesale energy markets has exponentially increased. And in response to that, the EU have brought forward a measure that aims to reduce the risks that small open economies like Ireland would face if we were part of a measure. So as I said on a number of occasions, if that EU-wide measure does work for us, and if it balances off all of the competing issues that a new measure of taxation would have on a sector that would matter to the economic security of our country, Ireland would be part of it. That's the stance the government is taking, and we hope in a few weeks' time the negotiations on this important matter will have concluded.